You send money home every month, but you never talk about what it costs you, not the transaction fees, the other price. The one measured in missed promotions, delayed dreams, and a life permanently suspended between two worlds. Today, we're walking through every level of remittance income, from the first $100 sent in hope to the point where the money flows so heavily it reconstructs entire villages. This isn't about charity. It's about a parallel financial system that moves $700 billion globally each year, built on the backs of people living doubled lives, carrying two families, two futures, two versions of who they're supposed to become. Let's begin where most remittance stories start, with a promise made in a language your new country doesn't speak. Level 1. The first 100. You're earning $2,200 a month in a city where rent alone consumes half of that. After taxes, food, transport, and the phone plan that keeps you connected to both worlds, you have about $300 of discretionary income. You send $100 home. This number feels symbolic. It's not enough to change anything back home, and you know it. Your mother uses it for groceries, maybe medicine. The exchange rate makes it stretch further there than here, which is the only math that makes this sustainable. But here's what that $100 really represents. Proof of concept. You left. You made it. You're not just surviving, you're contributing. The psychological weight is immediate. You start calculating everything in two currencies. A dinner out isn't $40. It's 3 days of your father's labor. New shoes aren't $80. They're the medication your sister needs. You develop a split-screen consciousness. Every purchase in your new life is now a subtraction from your old one. Your friends in this new country don't know you send money home. You've learned not to mention it. When they talk about saving for a vacation or a new laptop, you nod. You're saving too, technically, just not for yourself. Level 2. The weight of expectation, $300 to $500. You got a raise, or a second job, maybe both. You're now sending $400 monthly, sometimes $500 when emergencies hit, and emergencies always hit. This is the level where remittances stop being supplemental and become structural. Your family back home has adjusted their baseline expenses to include your contribution. They're not splurging, they've simply reorganized survival around your income. The roof repair that was delayed for years happens now. Your younger brother's school fees are no longer a crisis, they're an assumption. You feel this shift during video calls. The gratitude becomes quieter, more automatic, not because they love you less, but because your money has been absorbed into the family operating system. You're no longer helping out. You're a revenue stream. Here's the trap. You can't go backward. Reducing what you send now would feel like betrayal. So you optimize your own life down to the studs. You live with roommates longer than your peers. You buy the cheaper everything. Your career advancement conversations always have a hidden variable your colleagues don't carry. You're not just negotiating for yourself. The dating life at this level becomes complicated. You're not broke, but you're also never quite free. Planning a future with someone means eventually explaining that your income has permanent obligations. Some people understand, many don't. You learn to spot the moment in a relationship when you'll need to have that conversation, and you learn to dread it. Level 3. The middle passage, $800 to $1,200. You're making real money now. $4,000, $500, maybe $5,000 a month. You're sending back $1,000. This is the level where you're financially supporting multiple people full-time. Not contributing, supporting. Your remittances now pay for housing, education, healthcare, and the small luxuries that signal upward mobility back home. Your family's quality of life is visibly better than their neighbors. People notice. But here's what nobody tells you about this level. You're now too successful to quit, but not successful enough to be comfortable. You're carrying two households on an income designed for one. The math only works because you've become ruthless about your own needs. You're earning more than you ever imagined, but you're living like you're earning half. Your apartment is fine, not nice. Your car is reliable, not impressive. You dress well enough for work, but you're not shopping for pleasure. Every dollar that doesn't go to basic needs in your current life flows backward to your origin point. Your friends back home think you're rich. Your colleagues in your current city think you're frugal. Neither group sees the full picture. You exist in the gap between their perceptions, optimizing an equation nobody else is solving. The psychological split deepens. You start having two completely different text conversations about money. In one thread, you're the success story, the one who made it, the family's investment paying dividends. In the other thread, you're the person splitting appetizers, skipping the vacation, explaining you're saving for something big without ever saying what. Level 4. The compound effect. $1,500 to $2,500. You're in senior positions now. Your income is $7,000 to $9,000 monthly. You're sending back $2,000, sometimes more. At this level, your remittances aren't just supporting your immediate family. They're creating opportunity structures for the extended network. Nieces and nephews are in better schools. A cousin started a small business with your loan. Your parents' home has been renovated, maybe rebuilt entirely. You've become a one-person development agency, and the return on this investment is measured in stories, photos, and gratitude that comes through the phone in waves. It feels good. It also feels permanent. Here's the contradiction of this level. By any objective measure, you're successful, but you're successful in a way that prevents traditional wealth accumulation. Your net worth doesn't match your income. You can't buy property because you can't save for a down payment while maintaining this outflow. You're high income, low wealth, a category that doesn't fit neatly into financial advice algorithms. Your professional network sees someone successful, but mysteriously unbothered by material markers of that success. You're not investing aggressively. You're not buying in. You're present but somehow not fully participating in the wealth-building narrative everyone around you is chasing. The hidden cost at this level isn't financial, it's identity. You're not sure anymore which version of your life is the real one. Are you the successful professional in the city? Or are you the family's economic engine, a role that existed before your personality? The answer is both, which means the answer is neither. Level 5. The turning point. $3,000 to $5,000. You're in the top tier of earners now. Income pushing into six figures. You're sending back $4,000 or more monthly. At this level, your remittances are transforming economic realities for multiple families. You're funding education that will break cycles. You're providing healthcare that extends lives. You've probably bought property back home that you'll never live in, but that houses people you love. The math has flipped. You're spending more on your origin economy than your current one. Your largest monthly expense isn't rent or mortgage, it's the transfer you make on the first of every month. People at this level face a question nobody else understands. When is it enough? You could reduce what you send. You've more than fulfilled any reasonable obligation. But reasonable is a word that doesn't translate across this particular divide. The expectations have scaled with your income. Not out of greed, but out of need that's always been there, now finally matched with resource. Some people at this level feel trapped. Others feel purpose. Most feel both, sometimes in the same hour. Your wealth is real but geographically displaced. You're rich in a country where you don't live, supporting an economy you've left behind. Your retirement calculations include variables most financial advisors never encounter. You're planning for your old age in one country while funding your family's present in another. Level 6. The architect, $6,000 plus. You're sending more than most people in your new country earn. Your remittances are in the 5 figures monthly. You're not just supporting family, you're building infrastructure. At this level, you've probably established formal structures, trusts, businesses, investment vehicles that operate in your home country but are funded from abroad. Your money employs people. It generates returns. It moves through an economy in ways that multiply its impact. You've become, whether you intended to or not, a bridge between two economic systems. You extract value from a high-income economy and inject it into a developing one. You're practicing a form of private wealth redistribution that's more significant than most government aid programs. But here's what this level costs. You can never fully arrive anywhere. Your wealth is always in motion, always flowing, always obligated. You're materially comfortable, but existentially divided. The people around you in your high-income life don't understand why you're not richer. The people back home don't understand why you can't do more. You're too much and not enough, simultaneously. Some people at this level eventually move back, trying to close the geographic gap that makes all of this necessary. Others stay, building lives that are fundamentally different from both where they came from and where they live now. They create a third space, a hybrid existence that belongs fully to neither world. Here's what we don't talk about enough. Remittance income isn't a side hustle or a hobby. It's a shadow financial system built by millions of people living split-screen lives, optimizing for equations that don't fit standard models. Every level costs something beyond money. It costs the simplicity of single-focus ambition. It costs the freedom to fail, without collateral damage to people you love. It costs the clean narrative of self-made success. But it also builds something the wealth-building podcasts never mention. It builds bridges. Not metaphorical ones, actual economic pathways that move resources from where they concentrate to where they're desperately needed. It's inefficient by market standards and completely rational by human ones. You send money home. And that choice, repeated monthly for years, doesn't just move currency. It reorganizes identities, redistributes opportunity, and rewrites what success means when you're living it in two places at once. The transaction goes through, the money arrives, and you continue, carrying both worlds, belonging completely to neither, building a life that makes perfect sense only to the millions of others doing exactly the same thing.